Hello everyone and welcome to the Warthunder Survival Guide, where we show you the ins and outs of effective vehicle operation and comb the vehicle stats for every advantage so you can keep yourself alive, the enemy dead, and silver lions in your pocket. Today we will be covering the M2A4. It is a rank 1 reserve tank from the American tank tree, the first iteration of the Stuart family of tanks. Tank highlights include its accuracy and fast-loading 37mm gun, anti-air capabilities, high top speed, great maneuverability, consistent all-around armor protection, and many secondary weapons. Drawbacks include lack of ammunition with explosive filler, lack of additional armor on turret, high-speed maneuvers are difficult to execute, catches fire easily, tank is easily penetrated by all primary vehicle armaments, and it has a cramped crew compartment. The M2A4 is well armored for a reserve tank and is comprised of mostly rolled homogeneous armor. The tank is able to shrug off tank machine guns of the 7.62 and 12.7mm variety with ease, except for only the 12.7mm armor-piercing rounds with an angle of attack of less than 10 degrees, which limits their penetration ability to generally the top, rear, and sides of the tank in a head-on attack at ranges of up to 500 meters. The tank is inadequately armored and angled to take on a center of mass shot from almost any primary armament, even out to a much longer 1 km plus range. The front armor on the tank consists of 25.4mm of armor on the front plate with a 19-degree slope, 15.8mm of armor with a 69-degree slope on the front glasses, and 25.4mm of armor at a 20-degree slope for the lower glasses. The sides consist of 25.4mm of armor. The suspension wheels are 15mm thick, and tracks are 10mm thick, and made of structural steel, which is only 40% as efficient for blocking shots, but cover enough area that they may just well be enough to help block long-range, low-penetration shots with the help of the side armor. The rear of the tank is protected by 25.4mm of armor, with a large portion of the bottom of the tank angled to 18 degrees. Turret armor is 25.4mm thick the whole way round and has an 11-degree slope on the front plates, and the gun manlet has 25.4mm of armor with varying geometry with 12 to 65 degrees of variation. The gun manlet is comprised of cast homogeneous armor, which is slightly less effective at blocking shells for its thickness at 94% efficiency. However, this does not affect discernible penetration characteristics for any ammunition. All machine gun fire is going to generally be blocked, and all large caliber primary weaponry over 20mm is still going to penetrate, bar a lucky bounce on the heavily angled outer ring of the gun manlet by a shot not big enough to overmatch the armor thickness. The turret ring is very lightly armored at 6.35mm. While it is a relatively small target, it can be disabled and thus remove your turret traverse with even 7.62mm machine gun fire at close ranges, and presents a perpetual weak spot on the tank that can be penetrated, and no amount of angling or range will keep you safe with a shell of 20mm or larger connecting to the area. The cupola is 25.4mm thick all around and has the advantage of not sticking out very much from the top of the tank. The floor of the tank has 12.5mm of armor and is very well protected for its battle rating, protecting the tank from up to 90mm of high explosive shells. The roof of the tank is very thin, like most tanks at the reserve rating. The roof is only 6.35mm thick, with 2 sections on the rear of the tank made out of structural steel at only 4mm of thickness. The tank is very vulnerable to artillery fire. Direct hits are fatal. The close proximity hits are almost guaranteed to knock out the entirety of the crew. The tanker is advised to leave sectors designated for artillery fire. The primary armament on the M2A4 is the 37mm M5 gun. With a reload rate of 3.7 seconds, it's faster than most tanks it will be facing at its battle rating, allowing for quick follow-up shots needed for its armor-piercing rounds to completely knock out the enemy vehicle. Accuracy is another shining spot, as this gun is able to make accurate shots up to 200 meters unupgraded, and upgraded it's able to make accurate shots up to 500 meters and reliably hit targets out to 1,000 meters. This gun is accurate enough with a quick enough turret to engage air targets with consistent accuracy within a 1 km range. The gun has average gun depression at -6 degrees and elevation at +19 degrees for its tier. It isn't designed to take advantage of shooting down steep slopes, nor is it much better at shooting up them. The tank can run into issues with engaging enemy planes with its primary armament due to limited elevation. The gun is provided with an unobstructed view of the entirety of the tank with an above-average turret rotation speed stock at 19.5 degrees per second that gets much faster with upgrades at 27 degrees per second. The primary weapon is equipped with a shoulder-stop vertical stabilizer allowing for lower vertical movement of the aiming sight when traveling cross-country less than 9 km per hour. Because of the slow speeds, its primary use is to stop the gun from wobbling after an abrupt stop such as exiting cover, allowing for faster shots. The 37mm M5 gun has two varieties of armor-piercing ammunition at its disposal: the M74 armor-piercing shot and the M51 armor-piercing ballistic cap shell, with the M51 shell being a direct upgrade in all respects and should be upgraded as quickly as possible in the tech tree. The M2A4 has 5 7.62mm M1919A4 machine guns, 3 of which are fixed hull mounted and have no traverse and can only shoot straight ahead. 1 coaxial machine gun, which will target what the primary gun is targeting, and 1 pintle mounted machine gun with a snappy 90-degree traverse on top of an already quick turning turret. Each gun fires 500 rounds per minute, allowing for a truly withering hail of fire with all 5 guns trained on a single target. Each machine gun belt has a capacity of 250 rounds before requiring reload. With base crew, the machine guns take 10.4 seconds to reload. The tank holds a large storage of secondary ammunition with 5,250 rounds for each machine gun, except for the pintle-mounted one, which only gets 3,000 rounds. The pintle-mounted machine gun makes it easy to take pot shots at passing aircraft. If you manage to train the primary weapon and coaxial machine gun as well on the air target, the accurate fire will do serious damage to planes at its battle rating. The secondary gun ammunition consists of armor-piercing and tracer bullets and are effective at vehicles with extremely light armor and thin-skinned trucks out past 1,000 meters. At close range, the secondaries are effective against certain early anti-aircraft vehicles, armored cars, and jamming thin turret rings. If you happen to be engaging close range with one of these types of vehicles, it generally doesn't hurt to engage with secondaries in an attempt to dispatch the enemy faster. The tank has a good acceleration and a great top speed of 64 km per hour in arcade mode, only outmatched at its battle rating by some wheeled vehicles strictly on paved roads. On softer ground like mud and sand, you'll find the stock vehicle can get bogged down like your average tank. However, with all engine upgrades installed, you can maintain about 30 km per hour, which is far above the average at this battle rating on those terrain types. The maximum reversal speed is 8 km per hour in arcade, and the acceleration is slightly above average at this battle rating. It is adequate for dodging shots at long distances with careful attention, but will struggle with dodging anything closer. Hull traverse from a standstill is quick, allowing you to angle the tank armor in reaction to unexpected threats. It's even faster at the high speeds the tank is capable of achieving, but can be unwieldy, resulting in oversteering and takes some practice. The M2A4 has a crew of 4 and they're all tightly packed together inside the main portion of the tank, allowing for armor-piercing rounds to kill 2 crew members at a time with a direct front or side attack. A well-placed shot by a round with explosive filler will outright destroy the tank in a single hit. Crew survivability can be increased by angling the tank 45 degrees and facing the turret squarely with the opponent using armor-piercing projectiles so they can only reliably hit 1 crew member at a time. The engine at the rear of the tank takes up enough space that it can be used in an emergency situation to temporarily block shots at the crew situated in the hull if placed facing directly towards the enemy, and may buy you precious seconds in a dire situation to recover. The transmission is placed in an opportune frontal position on the lower glasses and may eat a shot from an inexperienced tanker, a snapshot, or a shot at the tank from a lower elevation, allowing for the opportunity to return fire without damage to the crew. Fuel tanks are placed on either side of the engine and almost guarantee that any side shot placed at the engine compartment will result in a fire as well. There are 3 ammo racks located in the main body of the tank. 0 racks are located in the turret, significantly reducing the chance for an ammo detonation, even if an explosive-filled round penetrates the tank and lends to its survivability from a hull-down position. The ammo racks disappear from modeling when you fired all shells in the rack. The first rack empties at 84 shells. The second rack empties at 41 shells. The third rack empties when the final shell has been fired. Take no more than 40 shells with this tank in order to minimize the chance for ammo detonation. The M2A4 base model starts with parts, fire prevention equipment, brew replenishment, suspension, filters, and transmission already unlocked. When completing modifications to spade the vehicle, I suggest you start with the M51 shot, as it is a straight up upgrade over your regular armor-piercing ammunition. Then move on to artillery support and engine. Moving on to, after that, elevation mechanism, adjustment of fire, and horizontal drive for increased turret accuracy and slew rate. Then finally finish off the modifications tree with tracks, and lastly the brake system. From stock, the tank does extremely well in high mobility shoot and scoot rolls, repositioning every few shots in order to take the enemy team consistently by surprise. The tank does very well in a hull down position with its access to upgraded armor-piercing rounds, allowing for consistent criticals even at 1 kilometer ranges, and owes its survivability at those ranges to the quick shots after exiting cover thanks to the gun stabilizer, the tank's ability to quickly move out of the way of incoming fire, and the tanker's ability to spot shells as opposed to traditional turret armor. In close range battles, the tank performs poorly against vehicles with access to rounds with explosive filler, or with large spacious interiors with lots of crew members. Lacking any rounds with explosive filler itself, enemy tanks with large amounts of crew members such as the T-35, LVT-A1, and Independent should not be taken on alone. If you need to take on one of these behemoths single-handedly, attempt to disable the primary turret first, then maneuver to detonate the ammo storage, preferably in the opposite direction the turret is facing and out of the way of any secondary turrets. The tank is extremely mobile and possesses an upgraded armor-piercing round that will have it punching far above its weight, but barring speed and quick reaction time, has very poor survivability due to its extremely packed crew and modules. Those that play into the tank's strength of mobility and accuracy will enjoy what it brings to the table, but for those who like to remain stationary and engage in close-quarter battles, the life of this tank is likely to be very short and painful. I give this tank a personal rating of 3 stars out of 5. If you like this content, please consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons below, as it helps me get this content out to more people and encourages me to produce more videos just like the one you liked. Should you wish to help out further, my Warthunder invite code is linked below in the description, and you can get 50 free golden eagles just by accepting my invite today. With all your newfound information, you'll be tearing up the battlefield in your M2A4 in no time. So until we meet again, may your aim be true and your repair costs be low.